How's it going, guys? This is Shaky Beeves. Apologies for the last episode, it's been very belated. Basically my capture card messed up, so total F up on my part there. So essentially the start of this episode is going to be kind of a recap of what you missed out on. So I just want to run through a couple of bits here. So I've changed up some of my my runes and stuff because I noticed I was getting my ass kicked. To be honest with you as well, I've played quite a lot of Bloodborne now aside of this actual series. It's just totally got me back into it. Playing the DLCs got me back into the swing of things. I've been doing loads of dungeons and stuff. So most likely what I'll do soon is I'll do a kind of little dungeon mini series. I've got a little idea for that. I've got a load of ideas, but it's just time really. Time is of the essence. I'm a busy man. This is really just a hobby for me to a degree. But yeah, sorry, just quickly, essentially last episode I did a lot of stuff, found a brilliant shortcut which I'm going to show you the outcome of that in a minute or two. But here's some of the weapons that I picked up along the way. So this is the Simon's bow blade. I love this little baby, but the thing is it kind of disappointed me as well, if I'm honest. I really was excited to use it, and then I realised that basically firing the arrows levels with blood tinge, and my build, as you can see to the right here, is a skill build. So it's a bit unfortunate really, and not ideal, to be honest with you. So ideally what we want is something that kind of levels with skill and with arcane, because that's kind of my build essentially. But here's a few of the weapons that I picked up. Beast cutter as well was pretty cool. Simon's bow blade, great little kind of weapon, but it's just disappointing really. You'll see me use it later on, but I just can't really put it into use, which is a bit of a shame, to be honest. This little bad boy as well, the boom hammer. I love the idea of this because it's kind of the Heretics Workshop, and they're the guys that create these kind of out there weapons that none of the other hunters use because they're all very explosive or gunpowder based. So I thought it was a cool little weapon. But I'm just going to do a few little moves and stuff just to show you how they play. Obviously a lot of you guys have already done this DLC, but for me it's all new, so yeah, I'm just going to do a few swings, show you what it's all about. So this is the boom hammer. I mean, that looks brutal, absolutely brutal. But again, the problem is it kind of levels with strength. So because my build is so niche in a way, because I've built it solely around the burial blade and the blade of mercy, a lot of the weapons I kind of have to turn my nose up at, which is a shame because you kind of get bored with using the same weapons. I've played this game for hours upon end now. So I'm trying to find some more weapons in the DLC that are suited to my build, because they're kind of pointless really, which is a shame. This is a beast as well. Excuse the pun. So look at that, like the range on the thing as well, you can just swing it like a madman. And the range, that could be a beastly weapon. It's a shame I can't use it, to be honest. I know you can get like gems and stuff that level, so you could up the skill rating on it, but some of them are literally that angled towards strength, it's kind of pointless. And then here's I think I do a couple of pops with the bow blade as well. So I've changed up my runes on my blade of mercy as well. If I'm honest guys as well, I've been doing loads of dungeon looting and stuff like that. My gear set has just got so much better now. So here we are. So I'm going to do a bit of a recap. Now there it is. There is the shortcut that blew my mind. I couldn't believe it. I had this whole journey, I got fucked up along the way completely. Absolutely mashed up. I was running for my life trying to find a lamp, and lo and behold I come right back to the start and come back to the lamp that I originally started with. So FromSoft, praise be your gods. Yeah, I love, this is one of the main things that I love about this game, is the shortcuts, the looping level design, so intricate, it's just fantastic. So I just wanted to briefly recap kind of what I did here. So a lot of this episode will just be setting up the next episode. You all know what I'm coming to, hideous fucking bastard that I'm going to be on my way to soon. So this kind of episode is more a kind of setup for that. So essentially all I did, and really when I've looked at it back as well, in terms of game distance, I've hardly travelled anywhere. But for me, it felt like ages trying to loop back at myself. So I went down that kind of alleyway there with the cavern, where all the guys are shooting at you and stuff like that. And yeah, and looped right back to the start where I began. So it was an amazing moment, fantastic. Now that is something I like about this weapon. Look, on the charge attack on this bow blade, when you hold it down, it does this double swing, so you can get like a double hitting, which is something that's quite niche. So the funny thing is, with the bow blade, the blade is brilliant. It's geared to my character. It's skill. It's completely skill-based, levels with skill. It's just unfortunate that the main thing I wanted to use it for was firing arrows. There you go, look, double hit. Lovely little idea that. The main thing I wanted to use it for, which was obviously firing arrows, is pointless for me because my blood tinge is at 10. Absolute bag of nails. Oh, this guy is using, what's it called? Yeah, Beast Hunter Scythe, Beast Hunter Safe. So you see, he does a lot of weird swirling moves with it. I'm loving that weapon now. I've picked that weapon up, and you're going to see that in the next episode after this. It's just a superb weapon. So we're back in now. Basically, I just want to go F him up quickly, so I can get my echoes and my pride back in place. I don't know what I was doing. I thought I'd take my anger out on some little beasts. Nothing wrong with that, is there? And then I give up because I get bored. So let's just get our blood echoes back. Come on, sit down. Oh, look at that weapon. It's lovely. I love that weapon. You're going to see me using that in future videos, to be honest. I really love it. So that's the one weapon I found out of the DLC, which is geared towards my character and my build, because it levels with skill. Not amazingly, but I think the top tier on a +10 is a B, I think. But then if I levy it with a gem, where I'm in my middle slot, I'm using a increased skill scaling gem, and that means I can up it to kind of an A scaling, which is good. And it's just a really fun weapon to use, really fast on the transform mode. The weird thing with it is, on the transform mode it's actually in, and on the standard mode the blade's out, so it's kind of backwards. And what's great about it is, history wise, it's kind of an old hunter workshop weapon, if you like. So it's like they almost had kind of some crude ideas back then, which is quite an interesting thing. You little pecker. Pecking me. You what? Right, so let's actually go to the route. Oh, hold on, we've got to kill this guy first. Come on then, son. Look, he's using that. Viscerals. Boom. Lovely. Look how much health he's got there. Bear in mind as well, something to touch upon about design from FromSoft here. He's probably the first hunter, potentially the first hunter that you come across in the DLC. Look at the amount of health he has. They're absolutely trying to mess you up. And it did mess me up. I couldn't believe how difficult they were. Now I'm back into the swing of it again. I'm getting it now. I'm back in, back in the, you know what I mean. So basically this corridor here is where I was coming towards, and I was fighting Simon the Harrowed, which is, you know, where you pick up this bow blade from. It was a great little fight. It was all lit up at the time as well, which is quite odd. And I was fighting him in this corridor for ages with a burial blade. He kept nailing me with arrows. It was a brilliant fight, so I wish you guys could have seen it, but unfortunately my capture card effed up, so you're never going to see that. So I looped all the way back down, walked into that corridor, saw this door, I thought, brilliant, new area, and lo and behold, I come back to the very start of the level, and I did not expect it at all. I don't know why I didn't, because I'm used to these games now, but it still surprised me. So here we go, look, so I'm going to be firing some arrows here, and look how weak the damage is with them, for me, because I'm not a blood tinge guy. I think I might use it a bit more on this fella. That's all the butchers. I just love that move. I think I'm abusing it quite a lot, but it's just good fun. Sit down. It's a cool little blade. It's just, I mean, it looks awesome as well. Look at it. I think I might start popping off some bows on this guy. I'm not too sure. Arrows, rather. Bows. Fancy. There you go. See, he's using the Beast Hunter save as well, my new favourite weapon. Come on then, boy. But yeah, so essentially what I've been doing at the minute, doing loads of dungeons. I've just managed to build the Sinister, no, that's not it, Cursed and Defiled Chalice for the Pthumerian. Correct, I don't know how to say that, and I'm an English nerd. Is it Pthumerian? Somebody fill me in on that. What's going on with that name? But yeah, I've just built the Cursed and Defiled Chalice, and what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do a couple of short videos on it, which will just be my run of that dungeon, and I'm going to just basically try and farm some sick cursed gems. I want to get like kind of 22% physical damage and stuff like that. Get my gear set up. I think it's something I neglected last year when I was playing this. I completely didn't look at dungeons. One of the reasons as well was one of my mates, he knows who he is if he's watching this video, we did some dungeons together, and it was just pointless. Like we were playing through and we just didn't enjoy it, because every boss he would disappear, or me, vice versa, whatever it was, and you'd have to ring a bell just to get him back in the game. And that, for me, I would say is my only criticism of this game, is I feel like for the dungeons they should have made it more co-op, i.e. you can do the whole dungeon run together, and if you're in a group of 2 or more, then the boss difficulty kind of scales with that, and it still makes it challenging. I don't know how hard that would have been to do. Not very hard is my point. So it just felt very awkward that every boss we were getting to, I'd have to ring him back in and blah blah blah. It was just boring, really. But doing them solo has been great fun, and I've really got deep into them. I've got loads of loot. I've got the Beast Claw now. I'm going to have a little go with that, even though it is a little bit, again, more geared to strength and skill. I'm going to give that a little pop, and yeah, you just get loads of goodies out of it. It's good fun. So I'm doing Aelin Loran at the minute, and then yeah, onto the Cursed and Defiled Chalice then, and then I'm going to do, can't remember what I had planned next. Yeah, not too sure. I want to do the Great Is Chalice at some point. So I love a Britas as a boss. I thought that was a pretty cool boss. I want to see if I can F her up. Something I forgot to mention with this series, guys, I don't know if you've clocked it yourselves, is I'm playing New Game Plus. So I'm playing the DLC on New Game Plus. So I'm basically covering my ass for later when you see that I get absolutely whooped on the first boss. So bear in mind, this is coming, I don't know if I said this before, so that, don't let me bore you. But I've played Bloodborne through more or less twice, apart from the last couple of bosses, and I've soloed every boss. I've never had to get help on any of the bosses. I've soloed them, and there is a point in this DLC where I had to hold my hands up and say, "You've won from Soft," and I got effed up. And yeah, you'll see. I don't want to ruin it for you. So I'm playing on New Game Plus, FYI. What I'm looking at there, I wanted to show you, so this is the route that I came in, so I'm kind of looking at it backwards in terms of the route that I originally took in what would have been my last episode. So over there's like a little house, and you saw like a blacked out door. Excuse me. There was an amazing moment in there where there was this wheelchair guy in the dark, and I thought, right, this is going to be exactly like in Old Yarnum, not Old Yarnum, Main Street Yarnum, when you first start the game. Excuse me, and there's that guy that just wheels round in a wheelchair with a shotgun, or whatever it is. So straight away I ran up to him thinking, yeah, I know what to expect here, I've killed this guy a million times. Boom! Explosion. Did not expect it, it was a trap. And that for me is basically From Software breaking down kind of the third wall and saying, look, we fucked you up. I thought it was brilliant. So they know that whoever's playing this DLC is going to be a well-seasoned Bloodborne player, is going to have come across that guy in the wheelchair a million times, probably farmed him for quicksilver bullets like I did at the very start, because you're so weak at the start, you're just trying to find any little routes that you can farm and get quicksilver and echoes and blah blah blah. So I ran in thinking, yeah, I've got him. Just exploded. It was a trap. It was hilarious, and I wanted you guys to see that. I loved it. Yeah, and that's where you pick up the boom hammer, which was quite apt, I thought. Again, I think for me, if I'm, again, look, this is analysis, this is what this series is, I love it, I love chatting bubbles about crap. I think like the Japanese as a culture seem to have that more playfulness with their games and that deep kind of intricacy to them, which I'm massively buying into now. I mean, you know, the Metal Gear series, stuff like this, I just feel like they just kind of poke fun at the player sometimes, and I really enjoy it. I think it's fantastic. As much as they take things seriously with all of the kind of RPG elements and the deepness and the involvement of the game, they kind of poke a little fun at you sometimes. You know, Hideo Kojima, as we all know, is a legend for that. So yeah, I love it. It's brilliant. I'm on for Dark Souls 3. I'm just waiting. As you've seen, I don't have a lot of time at the minute anyway. I'm gaming a lot, but it's more so the commitment with YouTube. You've got to have the time to sit down, edit, produce high quality material. You know, my material isn't as high quality as I really want it to be. I want to do kind of a boss guide as well for the you know who's coming up, and that's going to take me some time to get that professional in the way I want it to be. So it's a big commitment, I have to admit. So for me, it's going to be a little hobby I do. I'll knock up some videos, I'll throw up stuff I think people will enjoy, and that's it really. Just see how it goes. I'm not trying to conquer the world or anything. I put up a lazy upload last just to kind of put something up, get me back into the swing. But yeah, mash up this dog. Mash you dog. Mash you dog. Yeah, so bear in mind guys, manage your expectations here. It's kind of a short episode, and it's really setting up the next episode, setting the scene, telling you some of the stuff I did in the one that you've missed, more or less. So I don't get a massive deal ahead in this one, but if you've played the DLC, you know what I'm closing in on here. So you're going to see that next episode, so stick with me, yeah? Right, let's see what we got around this corner. Take your time in Bloodborne. Can't imagine what Dark Souls is going to be like. I haven't played a Souls game before, so it should be quite fun. I think it's going to be a bit of a shock to the system as well, because all I've known is Bloodborne. You got these quick dashes, the kind of quicker gameplay, but I have read a lot of stuff which says that Dark Souls 3 is a lot faster anyway, so hopefully it won't be too much of a shock to the system. But for me, it looks mind-blowing. I think it's upped from Bloodborne in terms of the graphics and the vistas, the bosses look insanely good. So I'm really looking forward to it. Cannot wait. So please join me with that. And I'm going to try and be inventive with my content as well. It's just time really. But I've always got ideas. I've got so much stuff in the pipeline. So we'll have to see what comes up. Yeah, I was being a bit of a spanner there, trying to climb up that building. Everything just looks like you can go in it, but you can't. It's got to be one of gaming's biggest disappointments. Oh yeah, it's a door. Oh no, it's just a bit of scenery. But GTA looks amazing, but then a lot of it is very superficial. There's no depth to it, which I really don't like that. I like games. I like deep stuff, as you've seen. I like to get deep. Oh, what am I doing here? Silly sausage. Ooh, he's after me. I mean, you're gonna see, guys, the amount I've been playing Bloodborne, I've been doing dungeons and stuff. My skill level's increased now. I really am a bit of a flusterer in these first couple of episodes. I've kind of like found my zone again, and I've suffered. I've suffered through some gnarly moments. So a lot of the kind of easier encounters like this, I'm kind of smashing now, so you're going to see that in the next, the further episodes that you see. With this, I wanted to touch upon something again about design, and I notice it a lot, and I love it. I really admire what they do. You walk around this corner, you see what they do is they put a hunter, and quite a formidable hunter, they're going to need to land at least 2 viscerals on you, if you want to just clean them up quickly. But what they do, From Software again, trying to dick you over, is they put a load of these annoying little crows that they're not that quick to kill either, but they're not much of a threat, but they will get in your way, they will peck you, they'll flap their wings around, they'll ruin your kind of line of sight. So really, what you have to do is take these little fuckers out first, but really what you want to do is focus on the hunter. So it's that whole thing of like weighing up your tactics before you rush in. Don't know what I'm doing here. Oh yeah, that was it. I wanted to see whether I could use fire paper with the bow, and again, disappointingly, I couldn't. So I wasn't too happy with that. I thought, come on, give me that. My build's getting close as well. I've been leveling, and you should see in my future footage, so when I do my dungeon stuff, my arcane's closing in on 40 now, so I'm going to be able to use, is it a Call Beyond, that amazing magic that I've never had a chance to use. Probably going to be disappointed now, because a lot of the stuff that you wait for it tends to be, but it just means I'm going to have more strings to my bow. I've been playing to my build now. I think, using the Augur of Abritas, knock people over. I do about 300-400 damage with that alone as well, because I've levelled. It's really quite a useful tool. What I didn't know with the Augur of Abritas, which I've got quit there, which again for some reason I'm not using at this point, there's the Visceral, you can actually counter with it. So you can actually counter. So if you time it right, you'll be able to land the Visceral with the Augur of Abritas. So you'll pop it, they'll drop, and you'll be able to swoop in. I never knew I could do that till the other day. Here you go, look, oh, the crows, look, there you go. As I said, those little schnivelly little crows mess me up then. So we're back in. Right. Revenge is sweet. That was a bit Star Warsy theme. By the way, has anyone seen the new Star Wars? I almost cried. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I was gonna spoilers. No, I'm not gonna say anything. But there's a bit I almost cried at, and there's many bits I almost cried at. In fact, come on then, let's smash you up. What you notice here, look, you cannot stun lock this guy. He will fight through your stun lock. So a lot of the times what I relied on with the Blade of Mercy is getting that stun lock where you can just mash him up. And him, you cannot stun lock. So I almost die here again because of these crows. Ooh. Hate you. Ooh. Ooh. Give me my blood echoes back, please. I need my blood echoes. Here's the whole runaway tactic, yeah? And just get my head together here, get my blade, get my gun out, get those viscerals. So tempting just to run up and start giving him a good spank. Ooh, not the crows. But basically, guys, to be honest with you, this episode is wrapping up about here. The reason being, I wanted to make them about 25 minutes long. The next one's a bit longer, and the next one there is a lot more stuff, a lot more detail. Talk about, more lore and stuff like that, because I pick up some cool items and stuff. And yeah, it's a bit more interesting. So stick with me for the next one. Should be uploading it ASAP. 2 deaths this time around. We've killed that guy.